the face a little bit. Now I don't like the fringe bang look where you pull the hair over and chop it off. So what I do is just take my thinning shears, make sure you keep them upright between their eyes, and I clip all. I've done this recently, so he doesn't really need to have it done. But if you clip this hair that's between their eyes, it'll make them be able to see. Now, for me, the look that I like on Sully, I use the thinning shears all over the top of his head and keep his hair short on top. So I'm just doing little snip, snip, snip at each level of the hair. And then every so often, you just run the comb through, and that picks up those hairs that you cut off. So it just depends on what kind of look you like for your face, how you do the head. But I wouldn't recommend using the clippers on the top of the head. It just doesn't look natural. Unless you're shaving them all together, which I've never had to do, fortunately. But this kind of thins the hair out so it lays down, and it doesn't really look cut like a little kid who's just had a haircut. It does kind of keep it natural looking. Be extra careful around their eyes, of course. I'm trying not to get his little eyelashes in there because they're so cute. Back here, I'm just trying to blend this into the clipped part. Got a little bit of mat here around his ears too, but that generally clips right out. Okay, so then I'm going to finish up on his head, but I did want to show you too on the beard some things that I do. I like to try and keep the outside hairs of the beard longer than these underneath hair. I think they stay a little bit cleaner that way. And I also feel like if you're cutting that beard off right at the mouth level, it ends up in every water bowl and every food dish and stays wet and messy all the time. His doesn't. He's a little wet under here, but in general, when you look at him, he looks fairly clean and dry, but that's because these hairs are not in his mouth all the time. So that's why I like to keep that a little bit longer. But when you clip them down, they look a little silly if you leave it too long, so I generally will cut that off at the same time. So, okay. I'll put this back so he'll keep his head up where you can see him. So, what I generally do is start in the middle. Cut that center part under his chin. Then I can even everything else up to it. I put a little bit of an angle on this outside part. And some of this that I haven't cut with the clippers behind his beard, I'll go ahead and clip off with the scissors. check to make sure. Keep keeping it even. He wants his head a little crooked, so I never end up totally straight. Okay, so I go at it like that, and I'll just keep shortening until I get it the length that I want. His ears, I do the same way. I like kind of a spaniel ear. If you look at it, you can see it's not straight and it's not angled and it's not really rounded. It's just a little bit curved. And his ears are beautiful and long, but like I say, when you shave the body, the head looks a little out of proportion if you don't trim them. I don't trim them to the extent that I have the body because this hair doesn't grow as fast as the body hair. It'll take the face and the ears and the beard longer to grow in when you clip them, so I don't cut as much off there. That's pretty much how I like the ears to look. So I'll just do that on both sides. And keep working on them until I get everything the length that I like and get it even. I also tend to shorten the beard a little more in the front than the back. Okay, I'm going to keep working on that. I think that gives you a good idea of how I get started with it though.